So on this 1992 Honda Accord, I'm going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to pretend that I almost don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to pretend I have a can, and what you normally never see me do is fill a car by vapor and run the engine and make it suck in, you know, that really old-fashioned, long, ancient way they used to do it back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. I'm going to pretend and do it the slower way. And so as you can see, I'm going to pretend I use the vacuum pump, but we don't have the gauges here, so you don't see the gauges. It's basically a hose directly to the AC system. We wouldn't be able to see that I have it pulled down to 140, 130 microns. We would just guess. We would guess that there isn't a leak because we would maybe have analog gauges that aren't accurate enough to see small leaks, so that's irrelevant even using analog gauges unless it's a huge leak, and leaks don't always get found under vacuum, so we'll skip that part. You see I have the tank upright, and I'm going to take vapor off the top, which I normally don't do. You normally see me when I fill a car up, it takes 30 seconds or less, but I'm going to do it this way using vapor. So here's my refrigerant line, and I'm going to kill the vacuum to the system, and I'm not going to hook up to the high side. I'm only going to pretend I have one of those little jerk-off cans and I'm squirting some refrigerant in there in vapor. And but the only one thing I'm going to do correct is I'm going to use a scale. You know, actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're even going to hide. We're going to cover and hide. We're not going to look at no pressures. We're not going to look at no temperatures. We're just going to use a scale only, as if I ran this hose directly into this fitting with no gauges or anything like that. I could do that. So that's what we're going to pretend, because basically this refrigerant is just going to go up the yellow hose, going to come right over here and just come down the blue hose. And I'm just going to meter the refrigerant from this one valve. That's all. So basically it's a straight hose with a metering valve in it. So let's add some refrigerant right now and do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, so I'm going to kill the vacuum. There we go. We're not going to look at no gauges or nothing like that. We're going to fill this up without gauges. We're only going to use a scale only, and we only did vacuum. So let's open up some refrigerant. Let's look at our scale right here. Let's make sure it works first. You always want to check that your scale is very accurate. There we go. We know the scale works. So I'm going to crack open the vapor, and we're not going to look at no pressures or anything. Please tell me I have it open. Oh, you bitch. Okay, hold on. I didn't hear nothing. Don't tell me. I forgot to open this. God damn it. Was that a lot of wasted time or what? And now this little thing wants to do this. Make sure it's reading, because it's having a little tizzy fit right now. It's reading. It's doing this stupid ass shit. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and let's see if this stops happening. Let's do this again. I will say this is why I like using my NAVAC. I lost my little scale monitor for my NAVAC. Okay, that's 0. We're going through a whole process of zeroing. Let's make sure it weighs. It weighs. Let's make sure it zeros. It zeros. Okay, vacuum is off. Now I hear it hissing. And we can see the weight is going inside. Now this is under vapor only, so this is going to be slow. Instead of only taking 20 or 30 seconds, this is going to take a while, because we're doing it If any shop does this, at least here in the United States, and they're a legitimate shop, this is the bonehead way of doing it. If you're do-it-yourselfer, you have to do it this way. You have no choice. You don't know. But there is no reason for any shop to have to do this. Okay, it looks like it's going to level out at 90 or 100 grams. We're not looking at any pressures. I'm going to do this whole thing without looking at anything. Okay, so now I'm going to start. There, it's at 100 grams right now. So I just shut it off. So that's like if I just shut this valve off. But see, I don't want to touch or disturb the hose. So we know it's at 100 grams and I shut it off, and it's 100 grams of just vapor refrigerant in the system. And I'm going to be putting 800 grams of refrigerant in there, or just shy, 790 I think. God dang it. Let me get this unhooked. I messed up my leg. Oh, bend it a little bit. All right. Get my leg up here. All right. Ignition on. Full speed, full cold. I want it on fresh air because I want it to stay on. I don't want it to cycle. It'd be nice if it's AC mode, fresh air mode. All the vents are open. Start. Okay. Now this got a new condenser and a new receiver dryer. So theoretically we should hear the compressors running with only 100 grams of vapor in it. You can hear the fans. You can see it's at 100. I see no flow. Why is the compressor? Oh, the compressor's coming on. There, you can see something. There we go. There's the dye. See how long that took from when I started the engine to now? So that's 100 grams of refrigerant in the system. So 100 grams, let's put another 100 grams in there. So I just opened up the vapor because we're taking off a vapor, and we could see the weight of refrigerant evaporate. As the refrigerant boils off, the vapor is traveling in because this pressure is lower. But we don't know the pressure is lower because we're not looking at pressures because I covered it up. So now I have 160 grams in there. Yeah, 160 grams. We put our hand right here. I still almost don't feel any cooling, just a little bit. See what this sight glass looks like at 60 grams. That's what the sight glass looks at 60 grams. You want to cheat? You want to see the pressures, what they look like? Let's cheat. Why am I still under microns? Oh, I know. Because I have vacuum over there. There we go. We're under -5 vacuum right now. We're operating under a vacuum. But we won't look at that. Let's get back to that. Let's push in another. What time is it? Oh, okay, the compressor turned off. The compressor just came back on. They're at 5 o'clock here. They want to go home, so I got to hurry this up. And this is why you don't do it this way. You don't do it in vapor and start the engine and put a little in there and shake the can and turn on. That's bullshit. You do it. You've seen my videos. It only takes 20 or 30 seconds. The clutch cycles on and off. You have to wait for it to go on. So I'm just letting that slowly go in there. Let's take a look at it. And actually I want to load it a little more. I'm pretty sure I have it on fresh air. Let's open up this door because I don't want no cold air. I'm trying to keep the clutch from cycling and I'm not bypassing anything. Why don't, oh, there it goes. That's open, that's open. It's trying to get cold. Yeah, I have it on fresh air. It's just not hot enough to keep the clutch from coming on. Okay, we can hear that, let's not look at the pressure. We can hear the compressor's not making any noise. We have, I don't know, because this thing wants to do its little stupid shit. And we still have a lot of that going on in there. Oh, and it's still not catching on. What the hell? Is that on? That's on. Oh, now it's just wanting to be stupid all the time. Come on, sync, you piece of shit. Okay, let me sync, scale, menu, data log, no, auto off, count. Scale. I've never used. They have a scale feature on here I never used. I have no freaking idea. I gotta find out how the scale feature. I've never used it. Oh, maybe. Okay, this bitch just doesn't want to come back in. This is why I hate this shit. Give me my Navac back. Most worthless piece of crap on the planet. Okay, gotta shut it off. Turn it on. Okay, 340. Now let's go some more. Fuck. As you see, this takes a real freaking long time. I would go, if I had to run a shop and I had to do this shit and wait for vapor to go in and stuff like that, I'd go bankrupt. I don't know how the frick shops do that. That is just the stupidest thing on earth. For a professional shop to use refrigerant cans and sit there whacking off with it, trying to slowly get it in there to feed in, is just dumb as F. Okay, I want to bring the temperature down so I could get the suction down now that the clutch is constantly running. I am going to put up the windows. I'm going to put it in recycle because I want to take the load off the evaporator, because now it's cycling 100% of the time, and I want to bring the pressure down. So the pressure in my tank, because as vapor comes out of my tank gets colder. As my tank gets colder, the pressure goes down and it doesn't want to leave. And this is why having to do it like this in a shop is just an idiot way of doing things. 480. Let's see what our minimum pressure is getting down to. Should be in the 20s. Down there 23. No. Our interior temperature is still too high. It's getting there. But let's cover that up. Let's just go by weight. Because this was 850 when it was R12. 800 to 850, and I'm going to do about 770, 780, 790, something like that. but I'm freaking gonna grow a beard. My grandson's gonna graduate college by the time you just use pressure and you're trying to accurately measure and siphon off the top, because the tank is getting colder and colder and the pressure in the tank is reducing. And because you want to do it very accurately on a scale, you don't want to disturb the scale, you don't want to disturb your lines, your tank, or anything like that. Okay. We still got to make it up to over 750 here. And they want to close, and I decided to do the old-fashioned stupid vapor way to make a video about it. Well, it really shows you how idiots in shops, because like I said, if you're doing this at home, do it yourself, you have no other way. You just got the bang off caps, cams, and but no, absolutely no professional shop should be using small cans or pushing it in vapor. Now, if you're paying your guys $1 an hour or something like that, and you could wait for them to do this all day, yeah. Or if you're just guessing and shaking the can and flooding down liquid down your vapor side, yeah, you could do that too. Okay, we're up 740. Oh, we have a clear sight pass. Now remember, 800 grams to 850 was the R12. About 750 to 780, 790 would be 134. Okay, the clutch just cycled. And temperature of our liquid line is 97. Okay, put some more in there. So the clutch cycled because it's getting cold now on the inside. This is a long ass video, all because I decided to do it the vapor side the way the circle jerk guys do with their little cans or their tanks. Always could turn it upside down and let's just dump liquid right into the vapor line that goes right into the compressor. That's a great thing to do, isn't it? Of course, you know I'm joking. Somebody who's watching my video for the first time going, this guy's an idiot. He's using vapor side and he's taking a long time and he wants to turn it upside down and throw liquid right into the compressor. Okay, now let's look at some temperatures here. So there's our liquid line temperature. You go to your PT chart and you run that temperature right there, 99 degrees, 100 degrees, to your PT chart, and you'll know what your pressure is on your high side, because I'm not using the high side line. It's just laying there right on the ground. But I have the temperature at the, see the temperature gauge? Right there. It's off right now. I'm not even going to finish up my invoice or charge them. I need to get out of here. They need to close. They want to shut their door. And just because I want to pretend I'm a stupid ass guy and do it this way, using vapor, taking so long. But I know it's cold inside. It got to be cold, because it's cycling off at minimum temperature. So it's probably around 39 degrees. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right about there. 70, get to 70. Okay, no, it's coming there. There we go. Let's see what our temperature is. For now, I just shut off the refrigerant flow of vapor refrigerant. And you can see the temperature of our suction line right there at 45. Alright guys, I gotta cut off because they gotta close up and I gotta disconnect and get out of here because it's the end of their day and they want to go home. See you guys, this was a long ass video.